Hey, you're here. I'm so excited that you're watching this first video. Everything you need to know before you start beatboxing. Did you know there's actually some things you should know before you start beatboxing? There are. And if you will follow these things, if you'll believe what I say, then guess what? It's going to mean the difference between really succeeding, really becoming a great beatboxer, and giving up. I think this will really motivate you and excite you to become a great beatboxer. And you know what? That's my first message to you. You can be a great beatboxer. Now, let me tell you, the first thing I want you to know is this. You need to think positive. And we're going to play a game to help you understand what I mean. I'm going to do a little bit of beatboxing, okay? And then right after I do it, I'm going to point at you and you mimic you try to copy me, all right? And then I'll do a little more and then I'll point to you and you try to copy it and then we'll go back and forth, all right? Let's do it. You ready? Okay. Here we go. All right, how did you do? I bet at the beginning you could kind of follow along, right? But then as it kept going, it got more complicated and you probably felt a little bit like, oh, I can't do that. Well, guess what? That's okay. But I want to ask you, what were your thoughts as it started to get more complicated and you couldn't follow me? What were your thoughts? Were they more positive or were they more negative? If they were negative, they probably sounded more like this, like, oh, I can't do this. This is so hard. Or my mouth just can't do that. I guess my mouth isn't made for beatboxing or something like that. Now, I've helped a lot of people learn how to beatbox and I've heard these kind of things over and over again. But guess what? They're just not true. And you know what? When you have thoughts like this, I've got something I want you to do, okay? I want you to just go find your can of anti-negative spray, all right? And I want you to just take that and just spray yourself in the face, right? Okay. And if you're with like your brother, your sister, and they're beatboxing too, and they say something like that, I give you permission to take your can of anti-negative spray and just no negativity, just let them have it, okay? I'm just kidding. There's no such thing as anti-negative spray, but you need to get rid of those negative thoughts however you can. If you have to pretend you have a can and pretend to spray yourself in the face, do it. Don't actually ever spray anyone in the face with anything. That's not nice. But you know what I mean, okay? Get rid of those negative thoughts. But you need to replace them, not just get rid of them. So what should you replace them with? Positive thoughts like these. I can beatbox. Maybe I can't do that right now, but I will be able to do that through practice and through hard work and through learning from these videos. I know you can beatbox. All right, so let's talk about practice, okay? If practice is going to be the thing that gets you to becoming a great beatboxer, then how should you practice and why should you practice? We're actually going to talk about how to practice in a later video, but in this video, I want to talk about why. There's a really important reason, and if you understand it, it's going to help you avoid discouragement. I don't want you to feel discouraged. That's the pit. Just don't feel discouraged. This is going to help you and motivate you and understand why you need to practice. Now, there's two reasons you need to practice. Anytime that you start learning a new skill that uses your body in any way, and when you beatbox, you're using your body, you're using your mouth, your throat, your tongue, okay? They all involve muscles, right? You have all kinds of little tiny muscles all over your face. And guess what? Your tongue is actually a really big muscle, just one big muscle, okay? You're using tons of muscles. So when you start learning something new, especially beatboxing, your muscles need to develop two things: muscle strength and muscle memory. Let's talk about those things. Muscle strength is just as it sounds, strength to do what you need to do. And whenever you start doing something new with your body just doesn't have the strength. Those muscles you're trying to use, they don't have the strength to do what you want them to do. And that's totally okay. It's the same with anyone who's learning any new skill. But because they don't have the strength, your sounds are not going to sound like mine at first. So how are you going to get there? How are you going to make your sounds better? Well, you just need to practice. The more you practice, the stronger those muscles will become, and you'll be able to start beatboxing really well. Now, the second thing is muscle memory. What is muscle memory? Well, muscle memory is basically the ability for your muscles to remember or know how to do something, how to move. When you start beatboxing, you're using muscles in a way that you have never used them before. And you may think in your mind, I'm going to do this, I'm going to beatbox. And then you're going to start trying to beatbox like me, and guess what's going to happen? Your muscles are going to be like, whoa, 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 I have no idea what you're trying to do. I don't have any memory of how to do that, okay? And that's why it feels like so hard and it seems so hard. But guess what? You can develop muscle memory. And I bet you can't guess how you do it. The big P word, through practice. Now, I have an example for you to help you understand this even better. It has to do with Japan. I lived in Japan for 2 years. My family wasn't even with me. I was with some other people, but I lived in Japan for 2 years, and I learned Japanese, and I also got to help Japanese people learn English. And I learned something very interesting there. The letter R, like car or road or run or whatever, doesn't exist in the Japanese language. Like, Japanese people never ever say It just doesn't exist. So when they're learning English for the first time and we have them say an English word that has R in it, guess what? They can't say R. They just can't. And in fact, people who really get into it and want to learn English really well, it takes them years sometimes to learn to say the letter R. Now, it's not going to take years for you to learn beatboxing, but R is really hard for them to say. They're like, R, R, R. It's really hard. And the reason is because they haven't developed the muscle strength and they don't have the muscle memory needed to say the letter R. Crazy, huh? So it's the same for you and your beatboxing. You just don't have the muscle strength or the muscle memory yet to learn how to beatbox, but you're going to get those things through practice. Isn't that fun? Now let's talk a little bit more about when you can practice. Beatboxing is so much fun and you can learn to beatbox really quickly, partly because you can beatbox anywhere, literally anywhere. You can beatbox in the shower, in the car, on the way to school. I beatbox all the time. In fact, I have 2 people who have told me that I beatbox in my sleep. And I'm not joking. So separate witnesses. They didn't even know each other. So I know I beatbox in my sleep. But you get what I mean. Beatbox anywhere. And just remember this, okay? Don't beatbox at the dinner table. No one will like that. Yucky. Okay, so that's one place you shouldn't beatbox. But you can really beatbox anywhere. And be respectful. You know, if your parents say, no beatboxing right now or something like that, don't say, Grant told me I could beatbox anywhere. Listen to your parents. But you can beatbox wherever you go, and it's a lot of fun. You know, think about it. If you're learning another instrument like a trumpet or something like that, or the drums even, the real drums, you need 2 things. Well, you need your instrument, right? Trumpet or drums or whatever. And you need a place to practice where you won't bother anyone. And that really limits the time you can spend practicing, but you're not limited by any of that. You know what? I love to beatbox anywhere, and sometimes I'm walking down the street and I'm beatboxing and someone looks at me like, whoa, what's going on over there? And then they smile. And I've learned just to smile back and keep beatboxing and be like, hey, you like my beatboxing? Don't be ashamed. Have fun with it. You know, if you do feel a little nervous, that's okay too. It's not a big deal. The point is to have fun with it, and you'll become a great beatboxer really, really fast. And that's my last message to you, actually. We've talked a lot about practicing. We've talked a lot about how you're going to have to build muscle strength and muscle memory and all of that. That's all true and very important. But it doesn't mean that it's going to take a long time before you're becoming a great beatboxer. Through practice, you'll start to notice that you're getting better and better, and your sounds are becoming more and more clear and tight, and it's going to be great. It's going to feel really, really good. I know you can do this, and now you're ready. You know everything you need to know before you start beatboxing. You know to avoid negative thoughts, to use your anti-negative spray. You know that you need to practice and build muscle strength and muscle memory. You know that you can practice anytime, anywhere, unless someone tells you not to. And you know that it's not going to take that long, so do it. Have fun and make it happen. In the next video, we're going to get into it. We're actually going to start beatboxing. I'm going to teach you about beatbox sounds and beatbox rhythms. And it's really, really fun because I'm going to let you choose which sounds you make. I'm not going to tell you what sounds to make. I'm going to let you choose. And it's going to be great. So we'll see you in the next video. I'm really excited. Go ahead, you or your parent, whoever can, send me an email and let me know what you think if you have any feedback for me. I'm really looking forward to hearing back from you. Thanks. We'll talk to you later.